We're talking a little bit now about the energy efficiency of Adobe homes. And again, you're looking at a thick wall, a foot thick of clay, which is a great insulator. Keeps the heat out. I'll tell you what, it almost like gives you a cave effect. And I don't know if we mentioned also, but it's super quiet, very quiet house. If you go in one room of it, it's a solid adobes and a screen. The sound doesn't really get through. It's like being in a cave. It's a neat feel. It's a very comforting, protecting feel that you get from it. But so that in itself helps you be able to heat and cool it more cost effectively. But we also want to work with people on using solar and wind energy, because we think it's a great thing to be self-sustaining and self-efficient and not get that $250 a month power bill. And actually, it can be done. You can combine a solar wind unit with these houses and maybe change your style of living just a little bit, and you live free of that bill every month, and you're in control. True liberty means that you are responsible and you're in control of your energy. So we want to work with people on providing them solar and wind units, and we think in the long run that will save them so much money and really give them freedom and liberty that I think goes along good with the term America. Okay, we're talking about utilizing local resources in what's called green building, or what I like to call natural building, which you try to utilize natural building products closer to the natural state, which has a natural good influence on your environment. Nature, we're a part of nature, and the closer we stay to nature, the healthier we're going to be. So you try to utilize your local resources, such as the clay. The clay that made these units came from a clay pit less than about 2 miles from where we're standing right here. And you save on transportation. When you use natural resources, you save layers of taxes and transportation, and it's shifting from dealer to dealer, and you keep your costs low. And also, I think it's neat that whatever type of area you live in, whatever building materials and resource that you have there, whether it's some kind of granite or stone or clay or beautiful wood or tung oil, you utilize the natural beauty of your local area. I think it's awesome that you're expressing the natural beauty, just like here in southeastern Mississippi, we have natural beauty and different kinds of pine trees and foliage and vegetation and animals that you don't have everywhere else. It's unique. So I think it's good on these houses to try to the best of your ability to express naturally what you have in your own area. And again, we're going back to the principle. We're trying to use the best of our ability. There is always a balance. We're trying to use local materials. So we're going to use a lot of what we call here in southeastern Mississippi rough cut lumber. And we have a lot of small mills here that will cut different types of rough cut lumber that I think is absolutely beautiful. The rough cut lumber is also thicker, and we're something else you might want to take note of in our houses and buildings is the sheetrock. I've had several people ask me about the sheetrock, and every third person that asked me that, I actually threw an adobe at them. No, I'm kidding. On every fourth person, but we're getting away. Sheetrock has its place, and no, God bless the sheetrockers, but we're doing something different here. So we're not doing any sheetrock. We're not doing synthetic latex paints. As far as there is going to be some walls, smaller closet walls, bathroom walls. All the main walls will be made out of adobe. Some of the smaller partition walls will be framed, but we're going to use locally milled lumber. And we're either going to seal it, or if we paint it, we're going to use lime-based clay paints. that are not toxic, and they're beautiful and special. And of course, you have options on the roof, such as a metal roof or a shingle roof. And but we try with every component that goes into the house, we try to stick as closely as possible to using local building materials, as close as possible to their natural state. Okay, again, we want to talk a little bit about the options as far as the different types of finishes that go with the Adobe building. And first thing we want to point out is that we are definitely going to stay away from latex and synthetic paints, which would be covering up the natural beauty and the quality and the interchange with the environment that the clay has. So we're looking as far as on the outside. You have a grouted wall here and sealed, and that's your natural clay units here. And then on the outside here we have some stucco. But you could do a smoother plaster on the outside. You could literally you could grout the walls and just see the blocks. It's just limitless as far as the combination. But on the outside, I would say the most proper would be either a rough stucco combination with the exposed grouted adobes. And again, we want to stick with our natural clay. We can take different colors of clay with hydrated lime and Portland cement and white or gray and create a huge range and spectrum of colors. We can work with you to make sure we get a color that you like before we apply it on your whole house. Okay, we've come inside now and we're talking about the interior finishes on these Adobe units. And again, we're going to stick with our clay. Clay is the main ingredient. That's the word. That's what makes the difference, is the clay. In beauty and as far as it being a healthy interaction with the interior environment of your home. Again, it's just so important. We want to get away from the situation that are in many commercial buildings and homes that are filled with synthetic materials that are basically dead, that are far removed and broken down and remixed, and they have a bad influence. It makes a dead airspace, mold, mildew, and people are sick. We're trying to get away from that. So we're sticking with our clay-based materials. The plaster, as you can see on the bottom, the wainscot here is believe it or not, this is a plaster made from red clay and sand and hydrated lime and Portland cement. And then we'll range back over here on this side. We see a different color, and this is also made with a red clay, but it's made with the lime and the white Portland cement. Now, if you'll notice, this is a semi-smooth finish here, and we would be able to take the finish a little smooth, but we definitely don't want to try to mimic a plastic wall board type situation, because we're not trying to do that. These walls are real. We like seeing some trawl marks and some depth of color and shadows, and we think it's very attractive and gives you a unique, special look. The wall over here is a little more of a rustic, wavy, Spanish type mixture, and this is basically sand and white Portland cement mitigated with a small amount of clay. It gives it a rougher feel. Now, we've got some colors down here, and we talked about the fact that we can basically, there is probably in George County probably 10, 15 different colors of clay, ranging from gray and dark red, brown, gold, and a pink, believe it or not. So we can mix the colors and create, just the range is limitless, and we'll work with it. As you can see, some of the different colors of the clay that we made just from a pit less than 2 miles from the house. I think this is 4 different kinds of clay, and we've got all these different colors. And we also can do something real neat, is that we can give you a multicolored look as far as saving some of the small dots of the clay, and then we put them into the plaster as we're making it, and it explodes the color and mixes it into the wall. And it's just nothing, you're not limited by anything but your imagination.